With me now is Robi Ludwig, the psychotherapist and author of Till Death Do Us Part. Welcome and thank you for being with me this morning, Robi.
Thanks for having me.
So the latest information we learned, thank you for being here. The latest information we learned about this killer is that he called into a local television station while he was inside the Pulse Club shooting people. What does that tell you about him?
Well, they've done profiles of lone wolves. They're hard to profile, but what they have found is that they tend to have personality disorders and depression. So here's somebody who certainly wanted to make a name for himself. This killer's idols were famous for killing Americans in large numbers. So this is something that is religiously driven, politically driven. He clearly was radicalized, but he liked the idea of getting some fame for this, for sure.
Say that again.
So he said to the victims inside the club, you know, I'm not going to shoot African Americans because they've been through enough. Yet he chose Latin night at the Pulse Nightclub to carry out the carnage. It just seems like mixed messages to me.
Well, you know, for somebody who's radicalized, basically they dehumanize anybody they consider is a non-believer. So we really don't know enough about this man to know who he considered non-believers. But in general, these radicalized individuals feel that non-believers are deserving of death, deserving of punishment. So who he considered in that grouping, it's a little bit unknown at this point because he's not here to tell us.
Well, if you could give us your best guess about what really drove him to do this, is that even possible?
Well, I think what drove him, there obviously was some conflict that got him to be a radicalized individual. And I would also look very much at the relationship between the killer and his father. I mean, the killer had a father who was supporting the Taliban, which supports Sharia law, which is a very punitive law that believes in killing people who don't follow the rules exactly as they're set out to be, I guess, followed.